Batavia, Illinois. I got a bit of bad news here. Unfortunately, I have to reschedule this weekend. It's something I'm just finding out about now, but I got to have another back procedure. So got to miss this weekend, but we have already rescheduled the dates. So Friday, April 26th and Saturday, April 27th, I will be back in Batavia, Illinois to do the shows, and your tickets will be honored. So make sure you come out and see me in April 26th and 27th, Batavia. San Francisco, I'll be back Friday, December 8th and Saturday, December 9th at Cobb's Comedy Club. It's the last stop of the Live and Alive tour for 2023. Get your tickets at ryansickler.com. I'm excited to announce that my special Lefty Son is now available as an audio album. Go check it out everywhere you get music. I'm very excited to announce that the HoneyDew video is now available on Spotify. It doesn't change anything for you at all. It's just an additional place to watch the HoneyDew. Go check out the HoneyDew audio and video now available on Spotify.
The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. I'm Ryan Sickler, ryansickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all your social media. And I want to start this show like I start all of them by saying thank you. Thank you very much for watching this show. Thank you for supporting these guests. These people come on, tell you some of the ugliest shit in their lives. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe. If you got to have more, then I am telling you, you got to check out the Patreon. It's called The HoneyDew with Y'all, and it's this show with y'all, and it is the wildest show. I'm telling you, it's right now, it's $5. That's it. There's no tiers, no nothing. It's $5. There's hundreds of episodes. We got a third best of coming up with Josh Wolf, and we've done 3, like I said. Those 3 episodes of the best of, we've done like 10 to 12 on each. Those 30 plus, worth your $5, worth your Starbucks coffee this week. I promise. You don't just get that month, you get all of them. All right. And you get the HoneyDew a day early. You're getting it ad free and you're getting it at no additional cost. And if you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, I'm telling you, my old podcast, The Crab Feast, this year we put it on a new RSS feed. I got it back. And that community, it did over 1.1 million downloads this year, that library. It's insane. And it's been dead for 5 years. That's how alive it is. All right. Go check it out, subscribe, and come see me on tour. All tickets for my shows are at ryansickler.com. All right. Now, you know what we're doing over here. I always say these are the stories behind the storytellers. And we're going to highlight the lowlights. All right. Today, I'm very excited to have this guest on. Please welcome Brittany Schmitt. Welcome to the HoneyDew, Brittany Schmitt.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's kind of long overdue, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And before we get into whatever we're going to get into, please plug, promote everything and anything Brittany Schmitt, please.
Okay, yeah. So I am finishing up a tour right now. I have 5 weeks left. All of the tour dates are on BrittanySchmitt.com, which is Brittany, Brittany, Schmitt, Schmitt. No D. I took all of those in college. People always put a D in my last name. And I'm like, they're all inside of me. So, and then
You erased the D out of that name, girl. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it early.
Yeah,
all
I did it early. Then I'm Brittany Schmitt on Instagram and TikTok.
Did you say TikTok?
TikTok,
okay,
yes,
TikTok.
it is. It's a new platform.
We're demonetized already.
Yeah.
So, well, again, thank you for being here. I was telling Kirsten, I was telling Brandy, like, I know you, but I don't know you. It's a lot of that in comedy. But we had a great conversation at the Improv on Theo's show. Mm-hmm. I mean, memorable. That's why I'm saying, oh, she was so nice. She was cool. I didn't really know who you were before that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never seen you at shows and things.
Yeah, it's funny how long you can be doing comedy and you still meet new people all the time.
Yeah.
That have been around forever.
So I want to get to know you better. And I know you've got some stories. I do follow you. So I know that you also talk personally about your life in your stand-up. So I know you got some stuff out there.
Yeah.
But please tell me, first of all, where are you from?
So I was born and raised in Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Okay.
Wisconsin.
I'm thinking, I don't know why I had Louisiana in my head, but
Well, what an insult. Oh, wow. Probably because I'm friends with Theo. You probably think we're siblings.
Maybe I put that in there.
No, I have been fighting hard to get rid of my Wisconsin accent, but it comes out every once in a while. Like I can't say the word bagel.
How do you say it?
Bagel, because Wisconsinites say bag.
Yeah.
They're like bagel. So
They go hard on the E.
They go hard on the A. So I say bagel, and sometimes it sounds like boggle. Like people are like, "What the fuck was that word?"
Because you refuse to say
refuse
bagel.
to say A's.
That's why. Yeah. What else? Like, what do horses eat? That's too easy. That's just nothing after it. That was a terrible example, Ryan.
Oh my god. No.
Do you say nasal? How do you say nasal?
Nasal? No, see, I've worked really hard to get rid of it. But the thing is, I've worked so hard to get rid of it that I thought I never had it. And I had a friend send me a video of my last day of senior high school recently, senior year in high school. And I almost threw my phone. I was like, who is that girl? I was like, oh my God, I got an A in stats class. Like, the teacher must love it. Horrible.
And you don't remember sounding like that?
No.
Yeah, people still to this day are like, "Where are you from? You have an accent." I'm like, I don't hear it at all. When I moved here, I fucking thought I sounded like everyone.
Right.
I had a friend, and so where we're from, Maryland, other parts of the country too, but we put an R in wash, washer and dryer, Washington D.C. You know, we're going to Washington D.C. And I had a friend out here one time goes, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Yeah.
And I was like, Washington.
Not Washington.
He goes, spell it. And I go, Washington. He goes, where's the R? And I go, what do you mean? There is no R. He goes, exactly. He goes, say it again. I went, Washington. And I was like, listen, it took 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years for me to be like, holy fuck, I'm putting an R in there for no goddamn reason. Yeah. And I took all the R's. You got the D's and I got the R's. So
you're from Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
See, your accent is very comforting to me, but it gives Southern, not Maryland.
People say I have, that's why I'm saying you say the A's, ours too. We draw our O's and our A's. We say phone.
Right.
And road.
Right.
And home.
And then in California, we're just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got an accent out here.
Do you think so?
I do. There's a certain accent where a little bit of that. And then you got Valley Girl too. But also there's this hard R here. They'll be like, get over here.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Clean it up over here. And I'm like, why are you going here? All that hard R. And
I'm like, hard R. We're going there already. Okay. Well,
all right. So you're from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Mom, dad, also like everybody from Wisconsin, like growing up there and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom and dad are both from Wisconsin. Neither of them ever left. Well, my mom's gone now, but she left.
She left?
She left. Well, she's dead. She didn't leave.
Yeah.
She's just
I felt, was that an urn you were just about doing over there?
I don't know. I don't know where she would. Yeah, she is in an urn.
Is she?
Yeah. Well, actually, funnily, she's in my. Is funnily a word?
I don't know, but I followed it. I knew what you were going for. We're going to have to look it up. I would try it and Scrabble. I know that. I mean, you're going to have to challenge. You're going to have to challenge. You're going to have to challenge. Okay. I think
we're going to need a dictionary.
Sure Get the official one. Get the official one.
Funny enough. She wanted to be spread out, her ashes to be spread out in a forest. And my sister was in charge of this. And my sister was wearing my dad's hunting coat. And she just fumbled the ashes and they went into his pocket. No. And I was like, well, it looks like she's going to be spread at the dry cleaners.
Yeah. Her ashes went all in the
yeah. And she just was like, trying to get
shaking the jacket out. Just walking back to the car, letting the wind blow.
Yeah, like the last place she would have wanted to be is my dad's hunting jacket.
Stuffed in a fucking old ass pocket. Yeah. Listen, it's so funny you say that, Brittany, because I fucking put in I have a living will and trust, and I made this lady you obviously don't know who the fuck I am, but I'm like, listen, you need to put this in there. And she's like, okay. And I was like, I want my ashes sprinkled in the Chesapeake Bay where I used to go crab and fish with my father. Mm-hmm. I want her, wherever she is, I want her to go do that. Like that's it's our last trip together, father-daughter, right?
Right.
Which is, and the lady's looking at me like, you're fucking insane. I'm like, put it in there. So she puts it in there, right? In there. And then I go home and I think about it, and it's exactly what I think. I think like maybe she's with her husband and kids. It's pouring down rain. It's muddy everywhere. The fucking jar hits. It's spraying all over the rainy highway, and they're like, "Sorry,
it just blows back at them, and then they're wet. Yeah. It's like they can't
the dogs licking it and shit. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you fucking want.
Yeah,
It's
no.
what the world wants is what the world's getting. Yeah.
But isn't it funny how petty you can be in a will? They really give you room to be petty in those. I had to do one with my ex-husband when we bought a house, and they're like, who do you
Give
want?
me an example, because I don't really.
Oh.
I just have my daughter, so I just put that to her at this time.
Yeah, no. It's like, who do you want at the funeral? Who do you not want at the funeral?
Whoa, there's a not one at the funeral
not,
list?
There's a not allowed list. And I'm like, oh, we got motherfuckers on this.
I want to know what year that was implemented after they were like, all right, we got to put a non-invite list here.
A not invite. It's like, what music do you want played?
You're dead and gone. And you're
still being petty.
You're like,
petty from the beyond.
Bitch ain't come.
Yeah. Literally, I remember the music.
Because Linda still has my sweater. That's why. That's how petty it is.
My ex-stepmom can go to hell.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. No.
Did you have anyone on your list?
Yeah, my ex-stepmom.
Oh, you really did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he had his ex-wife, his other ex-wife. I wonder if I'm on there now.
You probably are. He's been like, I need to add
He's
one
like, I
plus
need to
one.
add.
Can I get a plus one?
Yeah. Both ex-wives.
Okay, so wait. We've got a mom who's passed. You've got an ex-stepmom. So let's get into it. Do your parents split early?
Yeah, so they started getting divorced when I was 5 or 6, and then the divorce lasted for 7 years.
Yeah, okay.
So they had a lot of stuff
But
in
living
the beginning.
together the entire time?
No,
okay. Just on paper, they're married at this point.
I mean, they're married, but they're fighting. They're in court actively fighting.
Oh, they're in court too. They're not just...
it was like they drug us into court. Well, my dad really didn't. My mom, she drug us into court, but it was a custody battle. And then it was like they had a bunch of land and they were like doing really well. And then they got divorced for 7 years. And then at the end, it was like my mom got everything and my dad had to start over.
Damn.
Yeah.
And were you close with your dad?
So close. Still am. Love him to death.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the best.
And your mom, were you close with her as well?
No. It was really like East and West Germany. It was like...
I love that that's the case.
Yeah. It's like my mom and my sister versus me and my dad. And my dad and I were obviously West,
Not the Hatfields and McCoys or the fucking Montagues and the Capulets. Nope. It was East and West Germany. That's aggressive.
Yeah, we're West.
Yeah, you're West for sure.
Yeah. No, so it was really...
so did that cause a divide with your mom? Because did you feel like she was railroading your dad in a way, or
I was too young for a lot of it to understand. And then, once she was like putting us on trial to testify against my dad and like bribing us.
You actually got that far? You had to go. You didn't just go to court. You got on trial.
Well, she tried to, and then the guardian ad litem pulled us down because they're like, these kids are not. It was very clear that I was being bribed because my mom was bribing me to like say that my dad was an alcoholic. But I'm like, I don't know what an alcoholic was. So I couldn't even say the word, but I was like trying to say it. And they're like, we got to pull her off the stand. So yeah, it sucked. It was very acrimonious. And it drove a huge wedge between our family. My dad finally just gave up. He finally was like, okay, whatever. He's like, as long as I have partial custody of the kids, you can have everything else. And he rebuilt his life. And then
good for your dad.
Yeah. And then got married again to another piece of work.
That's nice of you to say a piece of work.
A piece of work. And then she took him to the cleaners when they got divorced. Yeah. So Dad. I'm like, fool me once, shame on you.
Mr. Schmitt.
Fool me twice.
So wait, you said mom won, so you have to go live with her? Like you're too young to even have a say and like, nah, we want to go with dad?
Yeah. So even when we did have a say, it didn't matter because my mom, she was undiagnosed borderline personality and she would always get the police involved in stuff. Like I remember on Father's Day, the night before Father's Day, she took my sister and I to a hotel and was like feeding us ice cream and like letting us swim and like doing all the stuff she would never do. And so I remember thinking something's up. And she brought us back late for Father's Day. And my dad was rightfully furious. And he came like flying up the driveway and she called the police and she got him arrested.
On Father's Day. Man, she set him up.
She was, yeah.
She set him up.
Yeah. But he didn't do anything.
I know, he just got mad.
I know.
That sucks. That sucks. This guy just wants to be with his kids on Father's Day, and he's pissed that he can't be. Not he's an asshole.
Not that he's missing an action on Father's Day.
Right.
He just
can't find him drunk
But he just
somewhere.
knew she was being so manipulative, and he knew exactly what she was doing. And I remember her like grabbing me and being like, "He's dangerous. Run for your lives." And I'm like,
nah. You heard shit like run for your life.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. And then I had to watch my dad get handcuffed.
On Father's Day. Nah, Brittany, is that real?
Yes.
Oh, that's...
He had to sit in a jail cell on Father's Day.
Because he wanted to be with his kids.
Yes.
He's in there with guys and they're probably like, fuck my kids. I don't even know my kids.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be with my kids.
Yeah.
That's
It was heartbreaking.
That is
But she was like, she was that kind of demon. She was like very manipulative.
Can I just switch gears real quick? I want to come back to all this, but Martine and I were talking about this because I saw this clip recently. Is that true? We can cut this out if it's not, but about your dad and Dahmer, is that true?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So it was my dad's best friend's birthday, Mike Kwiatkowski, and they were at a bar. And I obviously didn't put the whole
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the bar across the street, my dad used to go to this bar called Stenny's. And across the street from Stenny's is a place. It's now called La Cage. It's still a gay bar, but it used to be where Dahmer would go troll. And if he didn't have luck there, he would go across the street to Stenny's. And so my dad was at Stenny's after his best friend's wedding. And this guy came up to him and started hitting on him, very aggressive, and was like grabbing his ass and like trying to. And my dad was like a big fucking jack dude. He's still pretty big, but he was really big when he was younger. And he came up to him and he was like, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to get away from me. My dad said this. And my dad was like 1. And then Dahmer was like 2.
Damn.
And on 3, he fucking knocked him out, laid him out cold. And this was in 1991, so this was right before he was about to get caught. And literally his friends that were with him at the bar that night called him like a few weeks later, and they're like, that guy is on TV. And it was Jeffrey fucking Dahmer.
So he had already committed many murders, almost all of them. Holy fuck, your dad could have been next.
No, my dad would have never. There's so many
he could have been drugged,
things.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
he was a target.
But there's just
He said 2?
He said 2.
Dahmer said 2.
Dahmer said 2. I'm like, that's the kind of... Because Dahmer wasn't bigger than my dad. My dad was a big guy. So it's like... I'm like, this guy was just fucking asking for it. But...
Okay.
Yeah.
So this poor dude is arrested on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And now what happens? You guys all go with mom? And are you in close proximity? Like, can dad drive over at any point and see you guys?
Yeah, dad would drive over every morning when we went down to the bus stop. And he would drive over.
I love this.
I know. He was the
This is
best
making
dad.
me feel,
Yeah, he was the best dad. He was like 5 minutes away. He would make his coffee. He would come over and sit with us at the bus stop in the morning. We'd go to school. And then sometimes that's all, we would see him. We saw him Tuesday, Thursday, every other weekend. But when he didn't have us, he would come over and hang out with us at the bus stop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was the best
You can't
dad.
say nothing about that.
No, he's the best. I mean, I would never have that kind of a dedication to a kid. I'd be like, you wait at the bus stop, it'll build character.
Yeah.
You can wait alone. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Man, that's nice that you had that.
Yeah, so he was great, but it was really hard because it was like my dad was awesome, so spending time with him was great. And then my mom was, she was mentally ill, so I don't want to be like she was crazy or evil or whatever. I know she went through a lot, but she was really tough, really fucking tough.
Tell me about her. What was your relationship like growing up with her?
It was always hard because she was really overprotective and she wouldn't let us like go out, hang out with friends. We couldn't go to school dances. We couldn't watch TV. We like missed the world. I think she was trying so hard to protect us from like the evil of the world that we really saw nothing. And then once I did start getting out of the house, I felt like I had a lot to make up for. So I was like moving real fast. You know what I mean? I was like, if I would have maybe just developed at a regular pace with all my other friends in terms of dating and that kind of stuff, I maybe would not have been such a hoe. But like...
I wouldn't expect you to say that.
I was such a hoe. Like right when I got out of the house, I was like, I have to make up.
What age did you lose your virginity?
15.
That's respectable age. I feel like most kids.
Yeah,
I was
that's the
15.
second I could get out of the house.
Oh, that's the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't out at like 13 and waited. That was
I
right
wasn't
when you
denying opportunities. I was. But it was
Did you just cartwheel out that front fucking door
first
like
come,
whoever
first
puts it
serve.
in?
I was like, one of these idiots from the high school football team.
15.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then it was on from there.
It was on.
Is that? We don't need to get into your sexual life either, but you can talk about whatever you want. But also, it's on. Like, do you start partying? Are you drinking?
Yeah.
Are you okay? So everything you're going for at this point.
It was like, when I was growing up, my mom was really tough, and by that I mean like verbally abusive and just like very tough. And then school was really hard. I was bullied in school a lot.
Why?
So, here's the thing. You know that thing, like when you're an adult, I think this is like, it also pertains to kids, but like when you really want something, it can feel that and it doesn't want you back. Like I really wanted friends. So I was like trying too hard to get friends and they were like, you're fucking weird. But like I really just wanted to be a part of something. I really wanted to be accepted. I really wanted to have a clique. But like it's hard to make friends with somebody who can't leave the house.
Yeah.
And
can't go play it with you anywhere.
I can't go do anything.
Schoolmates.
Yeah. So
so you're just dying to meet a friend.
Yeah, I just wanted somebody.
Yeah.
And then, once I found alcohol, I was like, oh, I've arrived.
Guess what?
I'm like, guess what?
Fuck all
you.
y'all.
I was like, oh, I don't need friends. But that's the crazy thing is the second I started drinking,
And
I was like,
15
fuck
as well?
all of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, all of you guys can suck my fucking dick. I got so many friends. Like people just started coming to me. They're like, what happened to you? Like, why do you all of a sudden like yourself? I'm like, well... Thank you, Bacardi Raz. Is
that what it was? Those
Confidence brought to you by Bacardi.
Yeah. And then what? Your relationship with mom stays? Does it ever get better?
No, unfortunately, no. So yeah, it was really tough in high school, and then she, when I was 16 in the state of Wisconsin, you can decide which parent you want to go live with.
At 16.
So I told my dad I want to go move with you, and she was going to get the police involved. Like she's going to get the cops involved, saying that he's letting me drink, he's doing all these things, he's a negligent parent. So my dad was like, please don't, like just stick it out. He's like, it's 2 more years. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did that. And then on my 18th birthday, I came home from school and there was a bunch of boxes on the front porch and a note on those boxes. It was all my stuff. And a note on those boxes saying, if you ever step foot on my property again, it will be trespassing and I will call the police.
Your mom?
My mom. So I pack all my things.
Hold on. So using you for leverage the entire time against your father, and the moment you're a fucking adult, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, see,
because I have no use for you anymore.
It's not
That's
even
ice
that.
cold,
It's like she's borderline personality disorder. So one of their things is like they're very afraid of abandonment. So they will try and leave people first. Mm-hmm. And so the day I turned 18, she knew legally she didn't have a foot to keep me where I was. So she wanted to get rid of me before I could reject her and leave and move out, which I would have done. But, I don't know that I would have, because it was like my birthday was in April, and then, you graduate in, May or whatever. And then I was going to college. So I don't know what I would have done. But anyway, I go to my dad's house. I'm so excited. I was like, I'm moving in. This is great. And he's like, we have to go to the bank. And I was like, what? She was the custodian on my college account, and I was supposed to go to ASU. And he's like, we have to go to the bank to get your college fund.
Oh my God. Of course you picked ASU.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you picked number 1 or 2 party school in the United States.
Yeah.
It's like that in Florida State or like
and
the top
Wisconsin
2.
Actually was
Oh,
a
is
big
it up
one.
there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a big one when I was in college, which was a long time ago. So we go to the bank and I'm pleading with the teller. I'm like, I need this money. I have to give ASU a deposit. She's like, what? And I was like, I'm going to college. It's my college fund. And she was like, honey, there's $16 in this account.
No. How much was supposed to be in there?
A lot.
It's all gone.
It's all gone. She took it and enough for me to pay for college, and it was gone. And
who had been putting that in there for you?
Me. It was so.
Whoa, that's not even your dad. That's your own money.
Yeah,
you
so
saved?
she forced me into like
that.
childhood modeling when I was younger. So it was like all the money from that, all the money I had been getting from relatives throughout the years, like for birthdays, everything. It was my account.
Just
it was my money.
up.
It was what was supposed to launch me. And I just started crying, and my dad just started laughing. And he's like, she fucking got you. He's like, She got you. He's like, I knew she was going to do this. And he just looked at me. He was kind of crying, but he was more laughing because he was like, I fucking knew it. He's like, this is what she did to me when we got divorced. She moved all the money around. And I was like, okay. So thank God. It was such a blessing in disguise that I didn't go to ASU.
Yeah, I agree. You might be dead.
I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Real quick, did you confront your mom about this? Did you like go right over there?
No. There was no, it was done. We were not talking. There was no conversation to be had. I remember I told a few members.
How do you do that? Honestly, how do you not drive right over to that fucking house?
Drive my fucking car through her living room.
But I mean, just verbally let fucking loose.
Because I knew how sick she was, and I knew that there was no way she was even going to admit she did it. Because the time that I did try and confront her, she denied it. When I told her family members what she did, they all were like, this is between you and your mom. Like, your mom's saying she didn't do this. So I realized I had no support from anyone, and I kind of was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'll just do it on my own.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're your dad's daughter.
Yeah.
And you guys both got fucked by your mom. Yeah. So he's like, this is how you do it. Okay, so you go there, but now when does stepmom come into play?
She's been in. She's in.
And you already know her and things are not great with her?
Yeah, she came in when I was 10.
Okay. And now you're 18.
And she was just like this bobblehead drunk.
Does she have kids?
No.
Okay.
Just a real bad temper and a drinking problem. And it only got worse. It was like, I see why my dad was attracted to her because she was fun. But she got very angry. She would slam the doors. My dad would have to take all the doors off the hinges in the house.
So she didn't break them?
So she couldn't slam them because her thing was she would get drunk and slam the doors because she would get mad.
Just gang.
Yeah, gang.
Not just one and done. No. Oh, just gang.
Literally, I remember the first time.
You know what's so funny? I was telling Brandy my move. I used to argue with my ex and she would kick me out. She'd be like, you're getting the fuck out of here. I'm like, don't make me drive all the way home. It's late at night. I got to work tomorrow. Get the fuck out of here. And I would just get up and then she'd always slam the door. But my move was I'd just leave the front door open.
Oh, yeah.
Just walk out, leave it open, make her get up and shut it. How to hear that door.
That's pretty good.
You want to slam it? You fucking slam it. Yeah, that was my move, was no slam.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I remember the first time my ex-husband came home, all the doors in the house were off the hinges. And he's like, why are the doors off the hinges? And I was like, because Leanne is too.
Oh, he was just visiting and saw that shit.
And I was like, Dad, could you please put the doors back on?
You couldn't have one door anywhere. Bathroom doors are off. Or she'll just get it and go. Oh, that's so funny. That's a funny move.
Put the doors back on.
I gotta take a shit, Dad. Could I get a door?
Yeah.
We're gonna put curtains up.
Yeah.
That's too funny. So you guys butt heads over the 8 years and now you're going to move in. Is she stoked or is she not about this?
Well, I had been half living there the whole time. She was not stoked about the fact I was alive for all of it. She really hated my existence completely. I have a video I'll show you later of her grand finale, which is when the marriage fell apart. We were home it was my grandma died on the 1 year anniversary of my mom's death. They died on the same day.
Wait, your grandma died?
Yeah.
Her own mom?
Yes.
They died a year apart on the same day. Get the fuck out of here. What are the odds of that?
Yeah. So we are home for my grandma's funeral. Everyone is very sad.
Mourning your mom.
Yeah.
A year is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing when you lose a someone like that. Yes.
Yeah. So we're all at the funeral, sad as fuck. And we get home and she'd been drinking jug wine. And she was just ready to fight. And we got home and we're all so tired. And she just starts going in on us. And she was so drunk, she didn't notice I was filming. So I'll show you. She really went. Yeah. She's like, you, Brittany, you can go to hell. It's like, she's like, fuck you.
I think my grandma might have just done that. Yeah. Okay, that's where we're coming back from, goddammit.
Yeah. I was like, I'm already there.
Moment I walked in here through a doorless house, okay?
Moment I breezed in here.
Easiest house to rob on the block right there. That is too
Oh my God.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Your grandmom died on the anniversary, the 1 year
1 year.
anniversary.
Yeah.
That sounds like some heartbreak shit.
Yeah.
You ever brush your teeth, forget, and then take a big swig of orange juice? If you have, then you know that some things just don't mix. I hated that as a kid. Like oil and water, right? Our bodies don't absorb CBD oil well, so when you reach for oil-based CBD products, you could be absorbing as low as 6% of what's on the label. NextEvo Naturals developed a proprietary water-soluble form of CBD, clinically tested multiple times, which is proven to work faster and absorb 4 times better. So you can stay calmer or sleep better during this stressful time of year. I'm going to tell you right now, I take it. I love CBD. And I've been less stressed. I'm definitely sleeping better. I feel more focused. All right. And with so many choices, you can trust the brand with data. NextEvo products are proven to absorb 4 times better than most oil-based products, and they work fast. Now you can try their brand new extra strength daily wellness CBD gummies that are 2 times stronger than regular strength. Don't waste your time with oil-based CBD that might not work. Upgrade to better natural solutions from NextEvo. Go to nextevo.com and use promo code HoneyDew to get 25% off. That's 25% off at nextevo.com, promo code HoneyDew. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. This time of year can be a lot, and it's natural to feel some sadness or anxiety about it. Adding something new and positive like therapy to your life can help counteract some of those feelings. I know a lot of you out there worry about money and getting the kids Christmas gifts and, working and all juggling schedules, travel, all of it. I get it. All right. It can make you feel grounded and give you the tools to manage everything going on. All right. I'm a big believer in therapy, big believer in mental health. I believe you got to work out that mind as much as everybody wants to work their body. And especially now during these times when it's darker earlier and it's colder and everything going on, if you really feel like you need help, get some help. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/honeydew today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/honeydew. Now, let's get back to the do. Man, okay, So your mom, what happens to your mom? How old is she when she passes and why?
So, my mom, let's fast. So my mom and I.
We don't have to fast forward. Go back to Doors Off the Hinges if you want.
Doors Off the Hinges. So my mom and I'm going to go back to college when I'm at this crossroad.
Where do you end up going?
I went to UW Milwaukee for the first semester because it was so late. I couldn't get in anywhere else and they were going to give me a free ride. I also had no money. Free ride from UW Milwaukee is not impressive, by the way. And so I went there and then my mom found out I was going there and she fucking lost it because she's like, she always needed us to look like we were doing great. Like,
what the fuck she's stealing the ASU money for?
Right. So she was like, this pedigree does not align with my parenting. You know what I mean? Yeah. She always thought it would make her look like a better parent. If, my sister went to Wisconsin. So she does some black devil magic where she fucking gets me. I was accepted to Marquette in the fall and I didn't go there because I didn't have the money. And she did something, I don't know what she did, where she got me accepted for the spring semester on some sort of grant. I think she might have lied and said that she was dying because when we went into the office, she was like, if anyone asks you, I'm terminally ill. The second I just said that out loud, I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to get in trouble for that. But yeah. She's like, I'm dying.
Also, I don't know that even if I had that information, if I would say, even in this show right now, if you were, I would be like, are you terminally ill? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you're terminally ill.
So you're terminally ill.
Yeah. All right, kids?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, she's terminally ill. Yeah.
Well, it turns out she was. It was just terminally mentally ill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, so she gets me into Marquette. I went to Marquette. And then we had a few good times at Marquette. She tried to be in my life and then she just was she was just too much, you know? She was always just doing too much. She was always telling me I was an alcoholic, just like my dad, and I was going to be, you know.
Was she not a drinker or anything?
She drank, but she didn't have a drinking problem. But she's like, you're an alcoholic, just like your dad, you're going to throw your life away. And when you're an alcoholic and you're in the middle of enjoying being an alcoholic, it's not what you want to hear. You know what I mean? I was like,
you ain't listening anyway.
Right. I was like, I'm having a fucking blast.
Yeah, that's just
so,
a belch in the face right there.
Yeah. So I didn't want to hear it. And I kind of like was like, get the fuck out of my life. And I moved to California. And then when I moved to California, I went to go see a friend for Christmas, and I got a DUI in Arizona, and I had to go to jail for 30 days. And
did you go to fucking Tent City?
I was supposed to, but I got a lawyer, and I went to the Beverly Hills, pay to stay.
Oh, out here.
Yeah.
Pay to stay?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like you pay to stay there, and it's like pretty nice. It's like where the elites go to jail.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Pay to stay? So it's like a little Marriott or something, basically a hotel?
It's literally right off Rodeo Drive.
You have your own room
Yeah,
and stuff?
you have your own room. You have a TV.
You got a door?
Yeah, it's got a door.
Did they keep all those?
Yeah. It's got
Could you imagine if they locked her up in there? They have to get rid of doors now. I'm like, fuck.
God damn it.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's considered time served as long as you pay to stay there?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was, I still went to jail. But my mom, this was her big moment where she was like, I fucking told you you're an alcoholic. You're going to ruin your life. And I'm like, in this moment, I need a mother. I need you to be a mom and either support me or don't talk to me. And she just kept going. And I finally said to her, I was like, listen, if ever you're ready to get help for your mental illness, I will be there for you. I will fly home to be in therapy with you. I want to support you. But until then, I cannot have a relationship with you. Like, I love you dearly, but this is way too hard. And we were estranged from that day forward. I don't remember the last time I saw my mom, but I knew it was getting worse near the end because she started cutting everyone else out of her life. Like, for me, the longest time, it was just me. I had just cut her out. And then it was like other family members started cutting her out. My sister cut her out. My aunts cut her out. My grandparents cut her out. Everyone was like, you need to stay the fuck away from us. And when I found out everyone had cut her off, I was like, this is it. Here, she's getting ready to kill herself. And I remember, like, drunkenly, I was so sad, and I was trying to get a hold of her. I was calling her cell phone, calling her landline, trying to email her, and she had changed everything. Because by the time it was, near the end of her life, she was in a full state of schizophrenia, mania. Like, she was gone. She thought Donald Trump was in her light. She thought people were coming into her house and stealing her clothes. And
how old was she?
I don't even know. I think like 54-ish.
Oh, young.
Yeah.
And how long had it been since you guys communicated from that last moment to her death?
So she died in 2017, and I think it was about 6 years since we had spoken. And but I tried to get a hold of her, and I couldn't. And I think that was the universe or whatever kind of standing in the way, because I think if I had gotten a hold of her, as long as she kind of had the life to suck out of somebody, it would keep her alive. Yeah,
fucking Frankenstein sitting right up.
She was like a witch. She was just like, So, I couldn't get a hold of her. And then 2 days before my wedding, I was supposed to be leaving to go to Nicaragua for my wedding ceremony. And I got the call, and it was from my aunt. And she said, are you driving? And I said, yep. And she said, you need to pull over. And I said, who's dead? Is it mom or grandma? Because my grandma she had blood cancer. And she's like, it's your mom. And I was like, how did she do it? And she was like, how did you know she killed herself? I'm like, well.
Is that really how she did it? She killed herself?
Yeah, she shot herself in the head.
No!
Mm-hmm.
I did not think you were going to say that.
Gang shit.
That's fucking terrible. I thought you were going to say drugs or pills
I think
something.
she had tried a bunch of times before with pills. My sister told me that she tried once on Christmas with
Brittany.
pills. And I didn't know because I wasn't around, and my sister didn't tell me. I think my sister was trying to protect how crazy she was from me. But
she shot herself?
Yeah.
First of all, did she have a gun?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
did. Okay.
So here's the other thing. It's like she was texting people very threatening messages. Like, she was texting my dad being like, I'm going to fucking kill you. I have a gun. Watch out.
Shit.
And I remember my ex-stepmom called the police and was like, we're getting death threats. And the cops came over, and it was like the most Wisconsin interaction ever, where they're like, you afraid of a woman?
You fucking pussy.
Yeah. And my dad's like, I didn't call the police. He's like, I'm fucking strapped. He's like, let her try.
I ain't afraid of women.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of this one right here. Okay.
Yeah.
This one I am. Yeah.
But in that moment, her gun should have been taken away from her.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But the cop was like, this is outside of my jurisdiction because I don't, it's like.
Because it's Friday night.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to go
Friday
home.
night.
It's
I need a
fucking
beer.
2-for-1 pepperoni pizza at Papa John's.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. So, there was a few fumbles, but I think ultimately everything happened the way it was supposed to. She was not going to find peace here. She was a very, very tormented person. And
who found her?
So she had a boyfriend on and off for 18 years. I call him my stepdad just because it's easier, but they never were married. But she told him that she was going out of town and that he needed to watch her dog. And so it's my belief that when he went to pick up the dog, if he would have went in the house, he would have noticed her suitcase was there, her purse was there, there was a bag of clothes to donate, and then there was a bag of clothes on the basement door that had his name on it. So, and then she was in the basement. So he came to pick up the dog, didn't go in the house, just grabbed the dog, and then he didn't hear from her for a few days. So he went back to the house.
Do you think she'd already done it? Or do you know if she
we
already
know
had?
because he didn't find her until like the 19th or 20th.
I mean, sorry, when he went to get the dog, was she
That's
already
what I'm saying.
gone?
That's
okay.
Yeah, I think she was gone because by the time he finally went in and found her, she killed herself November 9th and she wasn't found until the 19th.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
So, yeah, she was like late stage decomp and I don't think that was her plan. I think it was her plan to be found a little more glamorous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. That's rough. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's devastating. But I am so much closer.
You're not shocked.
Not shocked.
I can tell you weren't shocked. You even said, how'd she do it? You literally said, how'd she do it?
Shock wasn't an emotion. There was a ton of relief because I also think I had been drinking at her for so many years where I was like stuck in this sort of cycle.
I've never heard that term before, drinking at someone.
Oh, yeah. I was really mad and I was like, I'll show you an alcoholic. You think I'm an alcoholic? I'll fucking show you an alcoholic. And so the first thing I felt was relief, both for her because I knew that she would be able to be at peace now. And then also for myself because I'm like, I can stop drinking. I don't have to keep doing this. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I've been sober since the day after her funeral.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
Like just like that. How long have you been drinking?
Since I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So 15 to 28.
And you just stop like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
It wasn't easy, but I did stop.
It's a hell of a fucking reason, but it is good that you did. Oh man.
Yeah.
And what was your dad's take on that?
Oh, my dad was devastated on her death.
Mm-hmm.
Devastated. So we did go to Nicaragua to do
did they remain friendly at all?
No.
Okay.
My belief is that she still loved him very much, but she didn't know how to express love. She was a very violent lover, so she would express love by saying, this is what you're doing wrong with your life. This is what you need to fix. And it's really interesting because in hindsight, I always just thought my mom was like this venomous cunt. And like now that she's gone and there's been some space, I'm like, everything she said was right.
Yeah.
It was just the way she delivered it. It's like that I was an alcoholic is a big one. It's a big one. Or like when I got tattoos, I started getting tattoos and she's like, you're gonna, by the time you're 30, you're gonna be removing those. I'm in the middle of removing them right now. Like, and I was just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything she said was right. She also just like really believed in me. And I think I didn't see it because she was so mean, but she was like, anything you want to do with your life, you can do. She's like, you just have to stop drinking. And I was like, that's an attack. Because I didn't want to stop drinking. So it's like I kind of dedicate my sobriety to her because I'm like, turns out she was right.
And then you get married how long after that?
Oh, the original question was how did my dad
That's right. I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing us back. Yeah, because you said they didn't remain close and they weren't really friendly.
No, she was like very
but you feel like she always
belligerent towards him. She 100% still loved him. But so we go to Nicaragua to have this wedding ceremony. It's very small. It's like me and my closest friends, my ex-husband, his parents, my dad and stepmom at the time, and then my sister and her husband. And my dad was the most sad of anyone. It was just like this deep, dark, unshakable sadness. And my ex-stepmom was pissed.
I was going to ask.
She was pissed. She's like, I fucking knew you still loved her.
She's dead now.
She's dead. She's dead. But then the best part was like on the reception night, my stepmom was trying to frog her across some stools to come to come say something to me, and the stool kicked out from under her and she hit her head on a rock. And I was like, we thought she was gone. Like her eyes were rolling back in her head. She looked like Forrest Whitaker at the optometrist. She was just like, yeah, so we thought she was going to die too. But no, she was pissed. She was pissed at my dad, and my dad was really, really fucking sad. But it's like, of course he is, the mother of his children.
Yeah, I mean, it's also someone's lost a life. She's been sick for a long time. This is the lady I had kids with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was sad. But yeah, so we got married. We had our little wedding ceremony. It was surprisingly amazing. It was really fun. I knew I was going to quit drinking after that, so I had like a full send. Like my gay friends brought Molly.
What do you mean you knew you were going to stop drinking after that? You drank for your wedding?
Yeah.
I see.
And then I knew shortly after my mom's funeral, it was like going to be done. So we found some like Nicaraguan cocaine. I fucking did Molly. I drank a ton. It was so much fun. It was like the best weekend ever.
That's your wedding.
But I'm just like, but that was the end, And then sobriety was really tough work.
What's the hardest part?
You lose your best friend. For me, alcohol was my best friend.
It was the alcohol that
it got me through everything.
Yeah.
It gave me confidence. I literally thought who I was who I was when I was drinking. That was my identity. Does that make sense? Like 100%. I was like, I'm this confident, sexy, bad bitch. And then I got sober and I just started crying a lot. And I was like, who the fuck is this person? Who's this fucking loser?
I'm crying in the fucking freezer section of the grocery store. Like, you fucking pussy.
Yeah, you fucking... No, but they say... They say in sobriety, when you are drinking and using, it's like throwing everything in the back of a station wagon. And then when you get like all your problems, then when you get sober, it's like slamming on the brakes. Everything comes forward.
Slams forward. That's a great analogy. Yeah. That does make sense. Just shit coming everywhere. I didn't even know we had a tennis racket just hit me in the face.
I was so fucking sad. I was like, I didn't even identify as depressed, but right now I am suicidal.
So you feel like that made marriage difficult, or just life in general, or both?
I think I really give my ex-husband a lot of props for staying with me through that.
How long were you together?
We literally had just gotten married, and then I got sober, and I was a nightmare for first.
How long were you married?
6 months.
Oh,
so we got married in LA in February at the courthouse, and then our ceremony, or our like party in Nicaragua, was in November. So I got sober December 11th of 2017, but we had technically been married since February.
Got it.
But still early, and I became a completely different person. Like, he married this happy-go-lucky party girl, and then all of a sudden I was just like crying and ready to fucking die for like 4 months. And he was an angel. It's so hard to watch somebody you love go through that range of emotions and feel those big feelings. And, it's such a helpless feeling when somebody you love is suffering. And like, we've reversed roles. Like, there was times when he was suffering and I was witnessing. But I think just for him to hold space and not judge me and let me kind of have that moment of growth was, I would imagine, very challenging. But I'm really grateful that he did that for me.
So how do you come to 6 months and say, all right, we're going to stop this?
Stop what?
The marriage.
Wait, we didn't stop the marriage.
That's what I'm saying. How long were you actually married completely together?
Yeah, so February to December?
9 months.
9 months, yeah.
10 months.
Yeah, but we didn't stop it. I got sober. We didn't stop the marriage.
Right. But you're divorced now. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry. I see what we're arriving. We're arriving at the divorce.
The overall window, but how long were you guys together?
We were married for 5 years.
Okay,
together for 7.
And the first 6 months, you're saying, was brutal.
Hell.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. But then you do make it past that.
Yeah, we do.
That's why I thought you were like, no, we called it at 6 months.
Okay,
and I was like,
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yeah,
gotcha.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we made it past that. And then like, he had his moments and I had my moments. He ended up getting sober.
Oh, he was an alcoholic as well?
He won't identify as an alcoholic, but he's not drank for 4 years and his life is exponentially better than it ever was before. So,
is yours?
100%.
Good.
It's night and day. Like, I look at pictures of myself when I used to drink and I'm like, I look 10 years older than I do today.
Is that right? Pictures. You really look at a picture and be I look older than today.
Oh yeah. I was showing my friend a picture of me in high school or in college the other day because this basketball player that I used to love got engaged, and I was pissed. And she's like, wait, show me a picture of you guys. And I'm telling you, I look, can I just show you right now?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. She was like,
and this is how long ago I'm about to see?
This is in college. So like my sophomore year of college, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Holy shit, you do look way better. No offense.
She's like, you look atrocious in that picture. I'm like, thank you.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Wow. That's from the drinking, you say? You think
Yeah.
that's like what? Alcohol, like bloat?
Yeah.
Alcohol bloat?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't look bad, but and that's how many years ago?
Yeah.
15?
15.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. So alcohol looks good out of you.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. If nothing for vanity, I will stay sober.
So then what happens in the marriage?
Yeah.
Why do you end up splitting after 5 years? Or you don't have to talk about this.
No. It's okay. It was a lot of things. I think when I was in the marriage, I felt very suffocated, and I felt like, comedy is a tricky gig, and it felt like I was swimming against a current at home. Like he wanted me to be successful, but like he also kind of didn't. You know what I mean? There kind of felt like there was resistance, and I just felt suffocated, and there was both of us were very codependent. So I had like completely forgotten who I was without him. And I didn't like that. I was like, I want to figure out who I am again. And I think too, like now that I've been out of the marriage for a year, I think when I left him, I very much was like, I need to figure myself out. I need space. I need this. I need that. Now that I've been out of the marriage and done like a lot of work on myself, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that like I was raised in such a tumultuous environment, and my mom was so chaotic. So I oftentimes think that love is chaos, and the marriage was very peaceful, and I didn't trust it. And I think on a core level, don't think I thought I was worthy of love. And so I tried to blow it up a million different ways in the beginning, and it didn't work because he just loved me and he was just there for me. And then ultimately I blew it up and I walked away because I didn't think I deserved that love or that happiness. And I think that sucks to realize once you're gone, you know what I mean? But I did have to leave in order to even do this work to see that was a problem, because I'm like, I don't want to go through life being in relationships, even if they're healthy, where I think on some core level I'm unlovable, and then I just keep trying to test them and blow them up, because that's just hell, So the reason I left when I left and the reason I left now are different. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. I thought it was one thing, but I realized it was something else.
It's
me. It's not him. Like, that's the thing. It's 50-50, but
is there
it's
a chance
me.
you two would ever get back together again?
He has had another girlfriend since October of last year. So he's been in a relationship for a year now. And I love him deeply, and we are very good friends. And
Oh, you are?
Very good friends.
Okay. So you communicate.
Oh, yeah. We still co-parent our dog.
Oh, okay.
And he's still one of my best friends. He can make me laugh like no one else. But I think I need to continue to do the work on myself and figure out like how to love myself, because I went in as a broken machine, and I think alcohol was like, I didn't know who I was when I was drinking, and alcohol in the beginning was like, getting sober and going through that whole change was like really big for me. And I think the change I'm going through now is also very big. So it's like, I need to do more work on myself before I even entertain any relationship, because when I became single, I started dating right away again, and it was a fucking disaster. Like, it was so bad because I just was used to being like in this codependent relationship, and I was used to like needing somebody to validate myself, and I realized I was like getting high off people, and like there was just like a ton of stuff that like made it very uncomfortable. So I'm like, before I get into another relationship, I have a lot of work I need to do on myself.
And I asked you outside if you thought you would, or is that the last marriage? And you said, I don't want to ever say never, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
So you are open to it if
Yeah,
it's the right person,
yeah,
right time.
I want partnership. I want to be in a relationship. But, I also want it to be mutually uplifting, and I don't want it to be a ton of, I think when we got into that relationship, both of us had a ton of work we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like I was working on him and then I was working on myself. And it just was so much work where it's like, I feel like that's why I'm saying I need to like work on myself before I get into another relationship, because I don't want to go into another relationship broken and being like, please fix me. Are you my daddy? You know what I mean? Like have that kind of, that needy energy. People can feel that.
How's your dad been through all this? He's been through separations.
He was incredible. Like when I first started feeling like I wanted a divorce, I was talking to him a lot, and he was like, listen, like, you know what you need. He's like, I'm not going to say anything about Chris. He's like, I love Chris. He's a fantastic man. He's like, but I will say being alone is better than being with the wrong person, And
Agreed.
I don't think Chris was necessarily the wrong person, but I do agree that like I needed the space. And my dad is like on the other side of his second divorce, and he's the happiest he's ever been.
That's what I want to ask you. So what happened with ex-stepmom? Why?
So that night.
Finally. Oh, that night?
Fight night.
No.
It was fight night.
He finally said that's enough?
It was like, I think that sort of crazy fighting had been hiding in the shadows and we hadn't seen it, but she brought it all out for the world.
That's the first time you'd seen that?
I had seen it because she did it to me behind closed doors. And then I would say to my dad, I'm like, she's doing this. And he's like, she does that. Like, she'll corner you. And then like, she'll get you in a place where, it's your word versus hers. And nobody's going to believe you if you are saying she's saying this crazy shit about you. So it was fight night and we had to leave the house, and she got a knife and she tried to stab him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. And he had to take it out of her hand.
This is your mom's funeral?
My grandma's funeral.
Grandma's funeral, a year
and
later.
Also my stepmom's. Also her funeral.
At the wake or whatever?
No, we were back at my dad's house.
She grabbed the knife after you all left the funeral.
When we all left. Yeah, no, when we left the house, we had to leave the house because she was going fucking crazy. She was taking swings at me.
This is the recording you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was taking swings at me.
Swings?
Oh, yeah.
Swinging?
My ex-husband had to get in the way. There was a point where she like flicked his hat off. She was just getting nasty. So we had to leave. And when we left, she grabbed a knife and tried to stab my dad. And then she didn't remember anything. Like not a thing.
So when he's like, I'm done.
Yeah,
and
she's like, I don't even remember it. Yeah. Which if that's true, that's really dark because it was like 2 hours. It was like 2 hours long of like insane rage and just trying to fucking kill me.
Were you close with your grandmom who passed?
Yeah, I loved her very much. She was the best.
What happened? Literally, what happened to her?
Oh, she had blood cancer, so she was sick for years.
That's why you said, is it mom or grandma?
Yeah, so she was sick, and we knew she didn't have much longer. And then I think the heartbreak on top of
I was
going
to say, she's got blood cancer, and then she just buries her own kid. Was she able to make it out to the funeral and stuff?
Yeah. I remember when we were putting my mom's urn in the crypt, I guess it is. My grandma was like, I'm next. And I was like, what? She's like, it's either me or Danny, which is her son. And I was like,
either me or Danny.
Danny parties. Danny had a brain aneurysm on my 10th birthday. So we're all surprised Danny's still kicking it.
Okay.
But he's the man.
I remember my father died when I was 16, and my grandmother, that's her son. You know, she had to bury her son. And my grandfather had died, he died the year I'm born, 73. So he's already got the name and the start and expiration date on there. My grandmother's over here with the beginning and the TBD,
Right.
But then my father surprisingly dies. So what they end up doing is burying my father. I think he was 10 feet down and she's 6. They stack them, right? Which I'd never heard of this until this. And I'm like, what? So my grandmother's, when you're a kid, it's also like, look, that's my dad. And now that I'm a parent, I'm like, I wouldn't care how old my kid was. I'd be yelling at their kids too. Like, you shut the fuck up. And she's just going nuts. And she's just saying, I'm going to be buried on top of my son. So we go back to the house. I'm just like, how are you doing? She's like, can I tell you something? I'm like, yeah. She goes, you want to know something that was really freaking me out? And I go, by the way, when she saw my father laid out in the coffin, my grandmother grabbed that coffin and shook it so hard, she almost brought the whole thing down. The people had to go get her, We're like, oh my God. And she said, staring at that fucking empty space where her death date's going to be. That's what she was. After her son's in there, she's just looking like, I'm next.
Yeah.
I'm fucking next.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Yeah.
We used to have a family death pool.
Like, who's going to die first?
Yeah, we had so many people dying left and right. We would do a family death pool. And now I talk to my cousins and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're on deck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could start betting on us now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn. That's dark.
So you and your dad now, he's loving life. You're both divorcees at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you hanging out and getting together?
Yeah. I've spent more time with my dad in the last year than I have since I moved to California.
Yeah.
I'm especially with like, the tour, my schedule is whatever I want it to be and I don't have anything tethering me to LA. So I've been home like 6 times this year. We're just hanging out.
He's still in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
I love it. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
You look healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you, it's your first time here. I ask everybody their first time. After everything we've talked about, advice you would give to 16-year-old Brittany.
Probably that everything is going to be okay. And also maybe don't fuck so many guys. You're getting ready to fuck. Maybe just like a few of them.
Was it a lot? You're saying it's a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Like the high school, like you.
Well, high school, yeah, I pillaged.
Your own? Did you go to rival schools?
No, I went to rival schools. I didn't sleep with anyone in my high school except for the guy I lost my virginity to, and then it was all rival schools. And then the guys in my school got mad that I wasn't fucking them, so they started a Facebook hate group against me called the Classic 8 Slut.
Nah.
CES.
Did you have Facebook at your time in school?
It had just, I was like probably the first group.
First shame group on Facebook is you.
Yeah. And it was just a bunch of guys that wanted to fuck me who couldn't, like just talking shit. Just talking mad shit. And I was like, sick. Yeah, no. High school, sure, whatever. That was fun. College is where we really start. Talk about burying bodies.
Marquette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm
glad
you had
the
some fun
basketball
out there.
team. I was the 6th man.
Thank you for doing this. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate you
Thank
coming
you for
on.
having
Please plug and promote everything one more time.
Yeah, my website is BrittanySchmitt.com, and then you can find me at Brittany Schmitt on Instagram and TikTok. I'm on tour for 5 more weeks, then I'm fucking retiring.
All right.
So tired.
I know. I'm going to take off, too.
Yeah.
Once I shoot this thing, I need to take off.
Yeah.
As always, RyanSickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all social media. We'll talk to y'all next week.